Okay, this is again Assisting Hands Gulf Coast, our staff meeting. Today is September the 12th, 2019, and we have some exciting news for you, but we also want to keep you guys abreast of what's going on, the state of the company, and what's going on out there too, and how that's going to affect our business, but also your work. So the first thing I want to cover and share with you is the health of the company overall. Again, my name is Alexis Nguyen. I'm the owner and president of Assisting Hands Gulf Coast. In the room, I have Yahira Marin with me, who is the administrator for Region 6, which include Manatee, Hillsborough, Polk, Hardy, and Highlands. Okay. Um, so overall, we basically I started this company over 5 years ago. Just back in February, we celebrate our 5 years anniversary. Having said that, we have been able to grow the company pretty fast for a small company. If you're not speaking, please put your phone on mute. We're getting background noises. All right, thank you. Thank you. And so I want to let you guys know that overall the health of the company is such that this year we have moved into a new office, which is close to St. Joseph Hospital, and we got to a point where we need a little bit larger space, as well as we need conference rooms so that way we conduct meetings and interviews as well. So we're going to be in this office for at least 4 years. So the contract I signed is 4 years. So we're planning to continue to stay put. We are, as a company, financially secure, but we do have challenges for reasons. You may not see this because this is all work behind the scenes. Every 2 weeks, we make sure that there's enough money for payroll. One of the challenges that we have is some of the insurance company we take, they sometimes are slow in reimbursing us. So those are the kind of challenges that I have to work out on a regular basis. We're constantly fighting with insurance companies. We're constantly fighting with some of the contracts that we have. But the main thing that I realize what's important is that we don't function in a seasonal. We always have clients on with us. Okay, so that leads us to drive the company in a very technological base, meaning everything that we do in order to gain efficiency, effectiveness as we grow as a company, that we have to ensure that we have the technology in place to handle that kind of volume. The mobile app, which I'll share with you a little bit more, is one of those such things. And then the other thing that's important to me is we have core values that we all continuously live by and practice. Those are being basically ethical, meaning high integrity. That includes honesty. The other thing is reliability and dependability. We have to be dependable for these clients. So imagine that some of these clients are like babies. You can't just leave your babies on a curve or by themselves, right? So some of these clients depends on us. So we have to be on time and be there available for them. And then the last thing is being compassionate, because there are these three main core values have created a company that thrive on mostly care, that we really care for our clients, but not only that, we care for you and your well-being as you are out there taking care of these clients. Okay. So overall, I want to let you know that the health of the company, and be realistic, is that we are financially secure, we are growing as a company, but there are challenges. And that leads me to the next agenda item. And the next agenda topic is I want to share that we continue to have challenges, and we're going to have more challenges ahead. First of all, these insurance company, they are not good at renegotiating the reimbursement rates. So the reimbursement rates that I've started the company half a years ago, they stay the same. So makes it very difficult for us to operate in a climate that we continue to expect, the industry expects more from us, but yet they're not willing to reimburse us and pay us more. Okay, so that being one. The other one is that we are competing against nurse registry. So nurse registry are like 1099. When you go over there and work for them, you're on 1099, and we as an agency, we cover for your pay, we cover for all the costs pretty much. But we continue to go out there, and a client here, it's about Nurses Street, their rates might be lower, but they're not going to be as reliable as we are. Okay, so that being one. And then the other thing that's available out there are private caregivers. So we also competing with some private caregivers too. And every year we have new regulations. One of the new regulations is what's called EVV, which is electronic visit verification. And that's why last year we made a point to roll out the mobile app to ease the pain for you, to make it easy. If you have a smartphone, you'll be able to clock in, clock out, do your ADL, and then obtain the signature, and then you're done for that shift, for that day. So you don't have to try to figure out and go out and print the forms and get the forms scanned and make sure that they get to us. So we have eased some of these because of regulations and gaining efficiency and effectiveness. We have to roll these things out. Okay, so new regulation on that, and then there's other new regulation that we're anticipating coming down the pipe as well. Okay. The other thing is that documentation is important. Every contract has its own requirements, so therefore it's what they're looking for is different from one another. So when we ask you, this is what we need, it's really because of the law, not because something we created. But if we do implement something new, it's because we want to gain efficiency and effectiveness. And again, all that to make sure that we make it easy for you, because we understand what it's like being out in the field. I have been out in the field working with clients, so I know how that feels. There are some challenges out there. Yeah. And then the shortage, you hear also the shortage in caregivers. So we're very excited that we are one of the few organizations that are able to find caregiving employees and workers, versus how much longer these folks are living. We have President who now live, President Jimmy Carter, he and his wife are in their 90s. So we're getting more of that, and we're seeing some of our clients are living longer as well. So shortage in caregiving staff versus longevity of people and their lifespan as they live longer as well. So the industry is saying that eventually there's going to be more people needing our help than workers. So we're going to do something that's going to be, we'll start changing how we're recruiting and where we find workers like yourself. Okay. And then the other thing that we're finding out, and you may not know this, is that on average, a lot of the private pay clients don't have savings. Okay. So they only have enough savings to last them 2.5 years on average. That's what the industry is saying. So there's going to be less and less of private pay clients. It's not realistic for us to pursue private pay clients anymore. We are looking at contracts. So once the contracts are in place, what we're doing is that we make sure that you will always have the hours. You're always going to be employed. Okay. So that leads me to, what are we doing for you and the office personnel? So one is, we have been looking at how to make it easy for you. Therefore, the mobile app will make it easier for you. Okay, there may sometimes that we have challenges with technology, and we're constantly working with Access Care to get that technology corrected. But the majority of you, there's no issues. You get the mobile app complete, you get pay on time, no issues. Okay. We also this year created job progressions, meaning you now have level where you can be promoted and grow within the company. Level 1, level 2, level 3, seniors level. Okay, so HR will be happy to send that information out to you if you want to see what those levels are and what's expected from you. Okay. We overall, our aim is to make it faster and easier for you. We pay taxes for you, so you don't have to worry about, if you were on a 1099, you have to worry about paying taxes. But not only that, we pay 30% of your taxes for you. We pay also your traveling time between clients, from client A to client B's. Who else does that? Okay. What we don't do is we don't pay for the commute time from the first time that you go to the client. Okay. And then we also offer health benefits. So all these things that we're doing for you, keep that in mind. as we're moving into or forward into the future. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn over to Yahaira to talk a little bit about the CME, the emergency, and some other topics. Yeah.
Alrighty. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Hurricane Dorian, what we did, what we learned, and things like that. So basically, we called every client and every caregiver uh, and let them know that there was a probability that we would not be providing services on Tuesday or Wednesday. But luckily, the storm did move its path and we were able to service those clients. So that's basically what we did. We were kind of like a control center here that Friday, and everyone in the office was making phone calls to every single caregiver and client. So what did we learn? Well, we learned that, you know, for the next time, what we're going to do is make sure that all the caregivers take a look at their calendars, and that way you'll know whether or not you have to go to your clients. So we did try to cancel services. However, since the storm moved, we did provide those services, but not everyone went, unfortunately. So what we learned is for the next time, what we'll do is remove those shifts from the calendar so that way you'll know whether or not you have to go or not, because we do cover quite a large area and some areas might be impacted more than others. So for the future, just make sure you keep an eye out for your calendar in those types of situations. The good thing is everyone was safe. All of our clients were safe. And the storm did steer away from us in Florida, so we are grateful for that. We did want to thank you guys for your cooperation and thank everyone that helped prepare the clients for the storm. That was a very big help because some clients aren't able to go get water, some clients aren't able to get supplies, but a lot of you stepped up to the plate and got those supplies for your clients before they ran out. So I do want to congratulate everyone and thank everyone for that. That was very great. All right, so now I do want to talk a little bit about common issues that we're having and that we're noticing here in the office. So I did want to talk a little bit about communication, especially when calling out. Make sure that you call the main office number when you are going to call out, okay? Don't call a direct extension, because we did have a few cases where someone in the office was on vacation and there was a voicemail left in that direct extension's voicemail, and no one from the scheduling team, they weren't aware of it because they don't have access to that mailbox. So just make sure you call the main office number. It's 813 868 6782. Do not dial a direct extension. Just let it ring or dial 0, which is the operator, and it will go to somebody. You can leave a voicemail, but I would try to make sure you speak to a live person, okay? Someone live. If you have to call 10 times, call the 10 times. So just make sure you reach somebody. Do not text. Don't. That's not a call out. A call out is when you actually call. It's not called text out. It's not called email out. It's a call out. So make sure you call. Let's see. We have had, unfortunately, a few terminations due to lack of communication, and they were considered no call, no shows since they did not make that phone call, or they did not reach anyone, or they left the voicemail in the incorrect extension. So make sure you call the main office because we don't want anyone to have no call, no shows on their record, and we don't want to deem anyone not eligible for rehire. Okay. Another common issue that we're having is cell phone usage. So please refrain from using your cell phone for personal use. I do understand you have to use it to clock in and out and do the ADLs, but try to stay away from Facebook, Snapchat, personal phone calls, things like that, because we have received complaints from clients. They won't tell you, they'll tell us. And then we'll have to do, periodic supervised visits. And we also have case managers showing up and seeing caregivers on their phones, and they won't say anything to you. The case managers won't say anything to you, but they'll call us and let us know, hey, your caregiver was on the phone, or your caregiver was doing this. So just please limit your phone usage, or do not use it at all unless it's for app purposes or emergencies. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is dress code. Please make sure that you are wearing your badge, that you are using sneakers, and wearing your scrubs. We did have a caregiver go to a client's home in a t-shirt and jeans with no badge, and the client actually called the police because they didn't know that they were there to provide services and that they were caregivers since they weren't in uniform. So the caregiver did have to call the office to prove to the police that they were there to work, and we don't want that. So just make sure you use your badge, make sure you use your scrubs, and wear your sneakers, because we don't want you slipping or getting hurt or cut or nothing like that. All right. Another thing is transportation. Do not transport your clients. I know they want to go to the grocery store with you. I know they want to go places with you, but unfortunately, we aren't able to transport clients. We can only transport them if it's in the care plan under ADLs. If it's not there, do not transport. We did have a caregiver transport a client without permission, and there was unfortunately an accident. And then now the client is in rehab, and the caregiver's out of work until the client gets out of rehab. So we don't want those types of situations happening. So just make sure that you do not transport. And if you have like any doubts, you can call the office. But like I said, if it's not in the care plan, do not do it. All right. And also, if you want more hours, please make sure that you request shifts that are in your area. In the app, we have had a few people request shifts that are like an hour away, and then we'll call to put it on your calendar, or they'll call to have it put on their calendar, and unfortunately it's an hour away and they don't want to accept it. So just make sure of the areas, make sure you go under open shifts and in the app, and then click request. Anytime you click request or request a client, call the office immediately, so that way we can put it on your calendar, because it is on a first come first served basis, and you never know if someone else requested that shift. So make sure you give us a phone call when you do. Another issue we're having is clocking in and clocking out, and the app isn't being used. Well, we have everyone using the app, but there are still a few caregivers that are still turning in progress notes. We're trying to get everyone to clock in and out with the app, because we are going to be mandated by the state to do electronic verifications. What does that mean? That means you have to do it on an electronic device, which is your phone. So the progress notes will be a last case scenario. Unless there's some certain contracts that do have paper notes, which is like Friendship Center, One Call, and you know who you are because you turn those papers in. However, if all you have to do is do the clock in and clock out with the app, make sure you do it. If you have any issues, please call the office so that we can clock you in or out, or make any changes to your schedule. That way you don't have issues clocking in and out. I have a few caregivers that are changing the schedule without letting us know, and you're having problems clocking in and out because it's not within the time frame. So please communicate with the office if there's any schedule change, or if you need us to clock you in or out, because we can help guide you through that process. We want you to get paid properly. We want everything to be smooth and clear. So any app related issue, call the office. Okay. Also, one quick thing I did want to mention too. Anytime there's an incident or an accident at the client's home, please make sure you call Nurse Becky immediately, so that way she can send you an incident and accident report. That incident and accident report does have to be turned into her or submitted to her within 24 hours, and that's very important because timing is everything. So make sure you call Nurse Becky if there's an emergency, incident, or accident at extension 104. That way she can address that with you. All right. One other thing is, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is coming around. It's fall season. Um, this year we will be giving out turkeys, like we did last year and the year before, and a few years before that. So just make sure we will let you guys know once we have those lists going. So you will need to call us in order to let us know if you want a turkey. If you don't call, there's no turkey. So no call, no turkey. So make sure that you give us a call. We'll add you to the list. And the requirement in order to qualify for a turkey is you do have to have, or you should be actively working at the time of distribution. Okay. So make sure you're picking up shifts so that way you can get those turkeys. And we will have designated pickup dates at both offices, so just keep an eye out for those. Okay. We will be ordering like a turkey for whoever's on the list. So if you're not on the list, you won't be getting a turkey. Okay. I know there was a few caregivers that slid last year, but this year it's like 1 for 1. We're not going to be ordering extra. All right. And then the last thing I'm going to cover is employee satisfaction surveys. So we will be sending every caregiver an employee satisfaction survey, and that's just to help us make any improvements if we need to. We will appreciate any honest feedback. It's important to us so that way, we know what's going on the field, what we can change, or what we're doing right, so that way we can keep that on record. And like I said, it will be anonymous and sent via email, so keep an eye out for your email within the next few weeks. And then we are also going to have Linda give random calls to caregivers and asking about your feedback as well. So that way, you can give us your honest feedback, and you can be completely honest with her. You won't get in trouble. There's no repercussions. We want your feedback, and we want to hear from you, and it is important to us. All right.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Yahaira. One other thing that I want to latch on to Thanksgiving is that Christmas is coming as well. We know that they're around Christmas. Usually, people take time off. So just start thinking about, if you're thinking about taking time off, please start submitting those requests early. The sooner, the better. So that way, our scheduling team know how to coordinate the care for the clients. Okay. But if you can pick up extra hours during the holidays, that would help us very much. And then one last thing I want to cover, and then we want to go then into Q&A or question and answer if you have any questions. So one last topic I want to share with you is that we are going through another growth spurts here, especially we were awarded by Hillsborough County to take care of their elderly who lives in the Hillsborough County area. And this week we received 15 new clients from them. So we're in the process of coordinating. All our nurses are out doing assessment right now and tomorrow, today and tomorrow. So we're going to get those clients on board, and just please pay attention to the open requests and put them in, or open visit and then put in your request. Okay? And then that's the first wave. The next wave, we're expecting another 10 to 15 new clients. That's the second wave. And then after that, October 1st, we're expecting even more new clients coming from them. So we are going to be needing help in Hillsborough County. So if you know you have family, friends who wants to get on board with us, please let them know. The other contract that I'm working on is October, Sarasota County. The Senior Friendship Center will be releasing another proposal for bid. So we're going to be putting out bid, and we have a very good relationship with that group. So there's a high chance that we're going to get that contract as well. And that will start beginning of the year, but the paperwork has to be done in October. And then the other big thing that I don't know if you all were aware of this is that CMS, which is the Center for Medicare and Medicaid, has approved additional benefits in the long-term care, which is what we do, under the Medicare Advantage. So some of the private insurance company like Blue Cross Blue Shield, United, WellCare especially, that offer Medicare Advantage, they have started looking at this benefits, and once they start offering these benefits to the aging population, we will be also adding this piece as a service offer. So there's a lot more contracts come on board. So right this moment, I'm looking at could be from 2 to 7 contracts in the next 5 to 6 months that we're going to be obtaining. Plus, I'm working on a very extensive list of all the worker compensation company as well. So I just submitted an application for one today, and we're just now waiting to hear back from them. I don't think there's any problem with that because their management's already approved that contract. Okay, so we are going through another growth spurts throughout the counties that we're in. We're excited. We're becoming a provider of choice for many of these sources, case manager and social worker, and frankly, because of the great job that all of you do out in the field and in the office as well. So I'm very excited and I'm very grateful for everybody and how hard a worker you are and how dedicated you are to our clients' health and safety. So now I'm going to pause there, and then we're going to go into Q&A. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. How do I get my badge? Because I feel more comfortable having an employee badge when I walk into the client's home.
Mm-hmm. We want that for you. What is your name?
My first name is Betty. My last name is Jones.
Okay, we'll get one out to you. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we prefer that way for you because it's important based on the situation that Yahira shared earlier.
Okay.
We don't want the clients to call the police on you.
Okay. And I have another question.
Sure.
I work with another company for you guys, but when you look in the app on the ADL, certain clients have different care we have to do for them, assistance. Do we go by what's on the app, or do we just do whatever needed?
So here's the thing. The app, that's a great question, Betty. Thank you for asking these questions. So here's the thing with the app is when the nurse built the care plan for you, these are the list of ADL on the app. Sometimes the nurse put in an optional ADL, but you wouldn't be able to know if that's an optional ADL or not. So preferably, if they are on the ADL, we expect you to complete them. And each client's going to be different because some clients are total care, other clients only need light homemaking.
Okay, like for example, I have this one client. She don't really have much, she's elder. She's like 90-some years old. She do a lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff that's not on the app, I also do. I mean, that's required. So what I'm asking is, I don't know.
Oh, okay, Betty. So that's I understand where you're coming from. You're saying that there are things that are not on the ADL that you're doing for the client because the clients probably have declined. But our policy is that the nurse don't do the reassessment. They only do that every once a year. So what you want to do is you want to communicate to the nurse team. Okay. So contact Nurse Becky or Nurse Robertina and make them aware that the client has declined based on your observation because that is a change in status and you want to report that to the nurse. And then what they do is then they go back out and do the reassessment and then they would update the care plan. Because you are our eye and ear because there's we have 3 nurses. They're not able to keep up with, but you are our eye and ear. So the great question, Betty. Great question.
Can I have a question?
Go ahead.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we're supposed to go by what's on the ADLs, but what if the client makes you or wants you to do more than what's on there?
You have to politely decline because then you're gonna put yourself out of compliant from the care plan. And so what you want to do is report to the nurse and let them know that the client's asking you to do something that's not on the care plan. And then the nurse then again, either the nurse gonna go back out and do the assessment and determine that ADL need to be on the care plan. But if the nurse say no, then you have to stick to the care plan. And if the client keep pushing or I wouldn't say pushing, but being persistent as far as asking you, because we have clients who ask caregivers to go and clean the gutter, things like situation like that, right? If that's the case, then contact the office, contact Yahira, contact Nurse Becky, and they'll speak to the clients and their families directly.
Well, my client, her light housekeeping is weekly, but she wants you to do it every day.
Oh, okay, all right. So that depends on what is on the care plan, because on the ADL, if you can see there are notes in there to tell you if that's weekly or if it's daily or it's at every visit.
Correct.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. So Betty,
I have a question.
hang on, Betty. Go ahead and contact the office and give us the client's name, and then we'll handle from there. Okay. And
Okay.
then all right. Thanks, Betty. And then someone else have a question?
Yes,
Okay.
Mr.
My name is Leslie.
Hi, Leslie.
Oh, Leslie.
Leslie.
I'm in
Leslie.
Polk County, Winter Haven area.
Yes.
And you're saying that if we need extra hours, I'm not seeing anything coming up on this side. Everything is on the west. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And also, we were told some time ago by the owner that she would be doing, getting some contract in Polk County. Has that come through?
Yeah, so here's the situation with Assisting Hands. Assisting Hands is actually have another office that is in the process of opening up. I think they just finished with a license in Polk County. So once they are set up, I will be introducing you to them, and they will be more. There's more representation in Polk County.
Okay.
Okay, so once they're up
Because,
and running,
20 hours can't not even pay my car insurance.
I'm sorry, say that again.
20.
I'm
20
saying
hours
that
doesn't pay
20
the car
hours per
insurance.
week can't even pay my
Oh.
car insurance.
Okay, so we'll be addressing that. Myself or Yahira are gonna go back to the scheduler team or the scheduling team and ask them if there's any other ones. So if you can actually
I
write
have
down
been
her name.
asking. There's nothing.
There's nothing. Okay. Let me look at that. Okay, and then the other contract is that contract. To be honest, the reality is we are waiting for the other office to be up and running, and we already may establish that contract with them. And the president of that organization, they have already reached out to me. So it's just a matter of time.
Okay, so you're saying that there'll be an office over on this side for Assisting Hands?
Yes, they're setting up. They're not quite there yet.
Okay.
Okay. And I think
Okay,
I think the office is going to be located in Winter Haven.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So we will.
Is that you guys?
It wouldn't be under us. It would be under another owner.
Okay, that's
Okay.
another owner. I seen another assistant hand. Okay.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is once they're up and running, then I'm gonna spend some time with them, and then we will send out the communication to our team in Polk County.
Oh, so we would be
Okay.
with another agency. Is that correct?
That would be correct. It would be Assisting Hands.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we want to make sure there is a smooth transition for our team who live in Polk County. Now, we still have part of Lakeland under my purview. We still have part of Lakeland. But right now, we're continue as is. As new clients come in, we're still taking. We're just a little bit more selective as far as the clients go. But more is coming, and this group's gonna be very aggressive in growing their office. So I will send that communication out as soon as I have a chance to meet with them.
So what about
Okay, I have a
remuneration? What about the remuneration?
I'm not. Could you?
We were evaluated, but no remuneration.
Oh, that's my raises.
Oh, okay. So evaluation raises. So, as I shared earlier, we are financially secure, but we have challenges. So what we're doing right now is we are going to looking at the group, and then we're gonna look at like small, about maybe 20 people at a time, and looking at raises. But again, we have a job progression in place that if you are meeting the job progressions, you may not end up getting the raises. So we're sending, I don't know, have you sent out the job progression information to the team? I'm asking you, Hiram.
Like each one, like what it is for their own.
Just overall information.
To the carrier?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No, okay.
So,
all right, so what we're
they
gonna
know
do?
the levels. They know the levels, but they don't know which one they fall in yet.
Okay, all right. So we'll be sending out the job progression to everyone, that communication out, what that means.
Okay, I have a question.
You're welcome. Okay.
I have a question. This is
Yes.
Charlotte John. I never received a name badge, so can someone please send me out a name badge?
Okay, we have that.
And two, as far as the office opening up in Polk County, would I still be up under the county with you, or will I go to Polk County because I'm in Highlands County?
Oh, Highlands is different.
No, you're Highland. You're Highland. You're under us. If you're
Okay.
Hardy Highland, you're under us. If you're picking
Okay.
up clients in Polk County, then you're gonna be more likely transitioned to the Winter Haven office.
So I will be transitioned to the Winter Haven office?
I thought you said you're in Highlands.
I am.
You're
No.
not.
Okay. I
Well-
just wanted to make sure.
Right. So wait. So where is your client in Polk County or in Highlands?
My clients are in Highlands County.
Okay, you're good. You're under us.
Okay.
You're gonna stay
And
under
then
us.
I just want to make sure someone send me out a name badge because I never received one.
Okay. We got your name, Charlotte.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Great question, everyone. Anybody else?
I have a yes.
Yes, I have a question.
Okay.
This is Kenya Kaiser.
Hi, Kenya.
My question is, my question is, I went out this past weekend to a client, and once I got there and called the office,
Mhm.
the client was in the hospital.
Mhm.
So do you get paid for going out there for the first 2 hours, or how does that work? Because this is the second time. It happened to me on Saturday,
Mhm.
and it happened to me on Sunday as well.
Got it. Okay. So we will check with Liz. Normally, in situation like that, if that was not on the calendar and it's been removed, we assume that
No, it was still on my calendar.
it was still on your calendar. What we do is then we sent you a gas gift card for them.
Okay.
So we have your name down.
Okay. And I would need a badge as well.
Okay. We have your name down on that.
Okay, thank you.
Great questions. Thank you. I think there was someone else.
Yes, this is Al, Alexa.
Hi, Al.
I noticed, going back to a question that was asked earlier, I noticed a dramatic drop in clients in the Bradenton area. I know I just do part-time, but I've been looking at the calendar for the last week and a half or so.
Mm-hmm.
There's literally nobody in Bradenton. There was one in Sarasota that was on just Saturday and Sunday that I don't work.
Mm-hmm.
But everything is in Tampa and Wauchula and, Nokomis, everything that's well over an hour away from me. So kind of wondered what happened to Bradenton area.
Yeah, so Bradenton, so a couple things, Al. One is, I have to be honest with you, if you're male caregivers, you're always going to have some challenges because a lot of the clients prefer female caregivers. And what we try to do is, if you're available, we try to place you out So we find those clients who say, yes, I'm okay, I'm indifferent to, I can have either male or female. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is we have been picking up clients in Bradenton. Sometimes it depends if the scheduler happened to call somebody or somebody else already asked or put in request for the open visit. They're gonna more likely get that first call, that first contact from the scheduler. Okay, but I'll take down your name and then we'll check with the scheduler to see if they know anything around that. The other thing is that we also, in the last 3 months, we've been looking at folks who have had overtime because we recognize someone like you who want hours, and then we have someone else working like 60, 80 hours a week. So we have to find a way to balance that out as well. So we'll take you down your name and we'll ask the scheduling team if they are aware of any that you can pick up
Thank
in
you.
Bradenton. You're welcome, Al.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. And I didn't get a badge either. I didn't even know that they gave them out. So.
Okay, we'll take care of it.
Miss Alexis,
Yes, ma'am.
this is Betty. I have one more question. Well,
Sure, but
I've been having a little problem with one of my clients with their family not being home on time enough to release me.
they usually don't come back home when you're there.
Yeah, so what do I do with that situation? I don't want to, I try to work with them, but I don't get paid for staying out overtime because they normally, if you have a certain time you have to clock
Yeah.
out. If it go over, then that you want the access app, whatever.
Yeah.
access
So
app
Betty,
that you
in a
clock out.
situation like that, what we do is we modify what the schedule is in the calendar permanently. So if they're consistently late, let's say you were there, the schedule was 10 o'clock in the morning, you got there at a little bit before 10 o'clock, and they are not home, and you end up waiting till 10:30. What we do is we work with that client and change that shift to start at 10:30.
Okay, but I have to call the office and they have to do it, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let them know that this
what
client is
about-
permanently late, so therefore, or consistently late, so therefore, see if they can change that schedule overall to start at when they actually usually arrive.
So what I'm saying is, I get off at 7, and like a week, the whole week, maybe like 2 weeks it went on. They'll come like at 7:30, you know what I'm saying? They late coming to relieve me.
Okay, so that's something like that, we will address it with the clients. I understand now, so it's at the end of the shift. That's what you're having problem with, yeah. So
Yes, at the end of the shift.
yeah, we'll address it with the scheduling team. If you could call and speak to Liz or Yashi or Maria, and then they'll see if they can address that. If not, they'll escalate to Nurse Becky.
Okay. I'm done.
All right, great questions though.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
No, I'm good.
Okay,
Well,
all
Ms.
right.
Alexa, it's good meeting you. I've been working with the company almost a year now, and you always send them messages, and I always wanted to meet you or whatever. I haven't met you in person, but it's good meeting you over the phone.
Yes, I appreciate that very much, and we really appreciate all that you guys do out there. What we're working on right now is some videos of each of the office personnel introduce themselves, so you can put a face to a name. So we'll be releasing that out shortly. All right. Well, thank you and have a great day, everyone.
All right. Thank you.
Great
too.
questions. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye-bye.